So 4 years ago, I made a decision that completely changed my life. I moved from Nigeria to Australia, and today I want to share with you what that journey has really been like. If you're thinking about moving to Australia and you have any questions, just drop the questions in the comment section and I will make sure to answer those questions. So let's start at the beginning. So I arrived in Melbourne 4 years ago. 4 years. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's been that long, but it's crazy to say that out loud. But yes, I arrived 4 years ago, and the first few months were a mix of excitement and adjustment. The culture, the pace of life, the coffee obsession. Aussies take their coffee seriously, and it's really interesting because I don't drink coffee at all. So whenever I'm having a hangout with an Australian, I drink hot chocolate because I just don't like coffee. I'm sorry. I'm missing out on the coffee deliciousness that's going on here. But coming from Nigeria, we have our own rich traditions, and having experienced China's fast-paced environment and then moving to Australia's slow, laid-back lifestyle felt like two completely different worlds. The laid-back lifestyle of Australians really struck me. The camaraderie, the way people say hi to each other.
Hello, mates. How you going?
It's just something that I really love. I feel really happy and really honored to be here. But even though Australians can be laid back, they work very hard. They just know how to balance it better than most places I've been. Now let's move on to the second part of the video, which is my career building in Australia. So I currently work for a large enterprise specializing in data analytics and AI. I work as a service desk engineer. Basically, it's a fancy way of saying IT support, but it's not just resetting passwords. I do a whole lot more than that, but I can talk more in depth on that in a different video. But the Australian job market can be very competitive, especially in tech. But if you have the skills and you're willing to improve and do study, there are lots of opportunities. I've been building my career here, working on everything from Microsoft 365 to cybersecurity. Dealing with malware, all of that stuff. I don't want to go too deep into it because that's not what this video is about. But yeah, I've been fortunate enough to build a career in Australia and see my career grow. And just for a bit of context, before I came to Australia, I had zero skills. Didn't know anything about IT, had no real world experience. What I did, I had work in some places, but nothing related to IT. So I was building everything from scratch. And it took me about 1.5 years to properly get into like a white collar job. It was a very difficult process, yes, but it was rewarding at the end because I was seeing my efforts or my hard work coming into fruition. So right now I'm actually studying towards a certificate called the AZ-104, which is an Azure administrator certificate. That's basically just me trying to improve and make myself more employable in the future. So basically what this is saying is if you are willing, you can definitely make a career for yourself in Australia. And if you invest in yourself, the doors will open. Now let's move to the third part of this video. Let's talk about the culture. Let's talk about Australia besides the tourist stuff, you know, the koalas and the kangaroos. Australians have an incredible sense of humor. It's dry, it's sarcastic. Takes some getting used to, but when you get used to it, you basically become one of them. But yeah, the diversity here is amazing, especially in Melbourne. It's a melting pot of cultures. You can go to the west end of Melbourne and get very good African food. You can go to the north and have Middle Eastern food. You can go to the east and have the best Chinese food you've ever had. It's just something I love because I like trying food from different places. Like I said before, I lived in China, so I like Chinese food. I can go to a different place and have Nigerian food. I can have food from all over the world within just a few kilometers from each other. And if we're talking about Australian cuisine, we can talk about Vegemite. Vegemite is like a paste that Australians use to eat bread. If you have it for the first time, you might not like it, but if you give it a couple of tries, you will eventually like it. That's the same thing that happened with me. The first time I tried it, I didn't really like it. But I think it was because I went straight to licking Vegemite instead of spreading it on bread. Vegemite is one thing, it's a spread. And then we have snags, or basically it's just sausages in bread, and it is quite good. We have a store called Bunnings, and one time I tried the snacks from Bunnings and they were quite good. Now let's talk about the challenges of living here. Of course, it's not been all sunshines and rainbows. There have been ups and downs. Living in Australia, or Melbourne specifically, is no joke. Rents, groceries, everything keeps going up. It is very expensive to live here. That's why most people get paid pretty well here. But still, wages aren't catching up. That's one of the hard things of being here. It's just the cost of living in general. It's pretty high. So you have to be very prepared if you want to live here. I was very lucky when I arrived. Like I said before, I didn't have any skills, knew nothing about Australia, but my wife gave me a soft landing, which is something I'm very grateful for. Another challenge is being far from family. Time zones make it tricky as well. Trying to find the best time to call your parents or your siblings. It's always it's a balancing act. You have to find the time that works best for you and your family. But when you spend enough time here, you build a support network, you make friends, you meet new colleagues, and they all make it easier for you to make that transition into a new life in a different country. Now let's talk about the lifestyle. What I love about Australia is the weather, but there's a huge caveat. Depends on the city you're in. So I love Queensland weather. Awesome. I love it. Like it's meant for me. It's what I'm used to all my life growing up in Nigeria. But the weather in Melbourne is kind of bipolar. You can have 4 different seasons in one day. You don't know what. I'm wearing a jacket right now. I'm wearing a jacket because I don't know what the weather's going to be like in the next 5 minutes. Yeah, that's yeah. The weather in Melbourne, I don't know. It can be good sometimes, but then it changes in the next few hours. But aside from the weather, the work-life balance in Australia is amazing. Like, you clock off from work, you're able to fully detach and have a good time with your family. People actually take their annual leave. Mental health is taken very seriously here. There's this understanding that you are human first and you're an employee second here in Australia. And the nature. Oh, taking walks in the bush and you can smell the fresh eucalyptus. Man, it's not something I can explain. It's something you have to experience by yourself in real life. If you're ever in Australia, go to any national wildlife park. You will not regret it. It's an unmatched experience. So that's my 4-year journey in Australia, from Nigeria to China, from China to Australia. It's been quite the ride. Now I want to hear from you guys. Let me know. Do you have any questions about moving to Australia? Do you want to know what it's like starting an IT career in Australia? Do you want to know what the culture experience is like, what the lifestyle is like, cost of living? Drop your questions in the comment section and I will make sure to answer your questions. If you found this valuable, hit the like button, leave a comment. If you hate my video, hit the dislike button, leave a comment as well. Just any engagement will let YouTube know that my video was amazing. Subscribe to my channel if you like the video, and I'll be making more videos about life in Australia, probably career tips, and maybe some stories about my time in China and Australia. Yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.